Welcome to Fast Fridays. Tonight, presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Tonight, it's the Modifieds at Martinsville as we get set for tonight's action here in this late September tilt. For those who haven't joined us before, Fast Fridays is a weekly series by Maconi Setup Shop that features a variety of car and track combinations each week. With the format, drivers over time have had everything from qualifying races to points to be able to factor in for money races that are held each month. My name's Justin Prince here for tonight's coverage. We'll be joined shortly by Braden Laster. Our producer tonight, David Kreutz. Tonight, we get set for the paperclip. 100 laps on the docket for the Tour Modifieds. And that means for these drivers being able to work close quarter combat when it comes to their Nerf bars, and better yet, when it comes to being able to be one with the track. Tonight's expectations when it comes to this evening, don't be afraid to use the chrome horn, but also don't be afraid to be able to put down some quick pace early, especially with the importance of track position. Drivers currently in the midst of qualifying for tonight's Fast Fridays race here at the paperclip. So, talking about those who are entered in, Tristan Adams currently top of the board, currently by a 10th plus over Jeremy Briggs. Ashton Pritchard is currently over Daniel Selway. Gavin Grice and Brent McLaughlin are amongst those who have set qualifying times so far in this session. Other drivers entered for tonight include Jeff Maconi himself, Brock Tolbert, Jeffrey Beck, I should say, Alex Cordenson, and more who will be looking to try and race around the track tonight and see if they can come away with a victory. Lots of drivers have also taken part of the practice. It's worth noting more than 20 plus at least got their feet wet with the racetrack. One of the late notables who should be a driver to watch for is Pete Bellini, known for speed on the short tracks. Driver, keep an eye on Hudson Barrett, also one of the late entries, it looks like, for tonight's festivities. So currently a lot of these drivers already complete their qualifying runs, just getting practice time in. That's the critical thing. Lee Schwarzenbach currently amongst those, showcasing how to attack the racetrack. He's using a lot of time to be able to slow down the corners at the moment as he pulls off. One driver is coming in for qualifying, though. Riley Duncan just hit the racetrack. A couple others like Brock Tolbert also are on circuit. There's a reset for one. Tolbert works his way around the racetrack for his second lap. Tolbert this time by of 18.7. Puts him in the 7th spot for tonight's session. On seeing who else is able to put in qualifying times. Most drivers electing to wait in this session. It is a fixed time in date. Essentially in the session, May 15, 2024, in session time. Right now the racetrack almost at 11 o'clock. It is 10:45 in sim time, PM wise. The coldest track temperature you can get, 65 Fahrenheit, 65 the air temp. 1 minute away from the session. Rolling over to the race side. Here's a look at those conditions. It is pretty gusty on the winds. That should make it somewhat turbulent potentially in the corners for tonight's race. Of note, drivers are on the racetrack. Now putting more qualifying times in. Hudson Barrett amongst those. Glenn the Thrasher also doing the same at the moment. Jared Davis doing so too. Take a look at some of these drivers as they try and put up times. This is Michael Mitchum. They're one of the late entries for tonight. It's his first lap around the racetrack as a whole into the 5s. That's good enough for 8th. In the pole time, Riley Duncan so far has set an 18.3. You would be on the front row. You must be in that range for tonight. Mitchum coming down the straightaway. Puts himself in the 3s, but not higher than Tristan Adams for the end of the session. Looks like drivers complete for their qualifying session tonight. One driver has withdrawn after taking part in qualifying. The rest of the drivers look like this. Raleigh Duncan, Tristan Adams on the front row, Michael Mitchum and Jared Davis are row 2. Briggs and Pritchard are in row 3 for tonight. Alex Corson will start on the next page. That'll be alongside Daniel Selway for tonight. Then it's Gavin Grice and Hudson Barrett. Brock Tolbert starts off in 11th. Brendan McLaughlin in 12th. Lee Schwarzenbach, the last driver to set a time. Amongst those also in session, Jeff Maconi in 14th. Pete Polini in 15th. Jeffrey Beck should say, in 16th. Many others looking to set themselves on the racetrack, as mentioned. Thrasher backing out in the last moment or so. But here's a look at the rest of the drivers have either taken part of the sessions or hope to come back to the race session to make sure they are here on time for this grid. They have a minute to do so. Let's look top to bottom of the running order once again. Let's talk about Maconi setup shop race analysis for tonight. As once again, tonight's distance 100 laps. These drivers have a faster pair available if necessary as well. Not expecting any pit stops if it goes green. It's about keeping it clean if you want to do well here tonight. Car's now rolling as we are set to go racing here. Looks like a few not able to make the start, but what else rolling of note? One of those in the 30s on the entry list. Nicholas Randolph did make the grid for tonight amongst some of those stragglers touched upon for this evening. Start way in the back, around the 20s. And happy with us for tonight's coverage of Fast Fridays, presented by Maconi Setup Shop here on Maconi Entertainment. Be sure to interact with tonight's coverage, whether on YouTube or Twitch, to be able to keep an eye on things and also keep things all social. Like for him tonight, once again, Braden Laster expected to join later on in the coverage. Warmed up the tires, that's going to be critical when it comes to this track temp. Going to be very cool, as mentioned, for this start here tonight. Ready to go racing, Riley Duncan and Tristan Adams on your front row tonight. It's Fast Fridays, it's the Modifieds, and it's at the Paperclip. We're underway from Martinsville. The track goes Adams to start things off. Outside of that, everybody else works their way down the straightaway. Side by side, building up for third. To begin the opening lap, Jeremy Briggs inside. A lot of the wiggles, though, from your outside pole sitter. Tristan Adams not comfortable. We have an accident at the back. Brendan McLaughlin stopping on the racetrack. Brendan not able to get things going for a moment, now able to do so. We stay green as he goes in. Ashton Pritchard also had moments down the front straightaway. Everyone else has been able to keep things stable. As here's the replay, Jeff Maconi taking a tumble. Maconi able to keep going though, despite the contact. In fact, he didn't get any real significant damage. Working back to the choo-choo train, forming up for third. Here's one of the announcers here on Maconi Entertainment. Looking very solid to begin things, but the top two seem to have gone in their own bubble. 1.7 seconds. Briggs has Corson, has Adams, has Barrett amongst those in the train. Talked about passing can be difficult when it comes to tonight for these Modifieds. We'll have to see how they pace themselves as the caution is out for the first time tonight, and it's for Randolph.
Only 6 left at the end of this event. JP already got the yellow flag out, brought out to you by the yellow Caterpillar car, and Maybe he gets a little bit of help here. Martinsville very tricky on the exit. We get to the power two, they're going to spin out just like that.
Hello to you too. Here for tonight, Braden. I see you jump through the open door.
Basically, I saw the caution and I thought, better time now than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a bad place to turn around.
Well, that definitely makes matters from really, really bad to really, 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 really bad. It's Riley Duncan there in the 97. Running just around the top 5 and nowhere to go, really.
He was your leader, actually.
Yeah, tough one there.
That was your leader, and he just got essentially destroyed. He is no longer going to be in the conversation here. Again, we're still under replay. Michael Mitchum, who was the other driver running away in that main grouping of 2, now is the leader.
Okay, it was pretty blunt hit, pretty even to the front bumper. I don't think you'll have too much damage there. These modifieds are built pretty tough, so you might be able to get A-OK or get away with some quick repairs, but I hate to see that happen though.
So, a wild welcome to the broadcast to start things off here. But your thoughts on this combination? We've seen this with yesteryear, mind you, with this combination. Your thoughts on it tonight here for Fast Fridays?
Yeah, definitely a fun track here. Martinsville is a pretty unique track in the fact that there's not many tracks that are this big, but this flat when you have in, I know a lot of the NASCAR series go here, and a lot of guys think of Martinsville a bit like a wreck fest. You gotta get the chrome horns and move out of the way. But the Martinsville, or the modifieds are unique here in Martinsville. Having the big, thick, wide tires, the heavy horsepower, definitely it's a driver's track and allows you to make passes around the outside, get into the throttle a little bit early, and having to maybe play with their tire control too on the exit too. So I really like this combination.
Want to go signal on the racetrack. Again, Mitchum with that situation under caution is the leader. Briggs in second. Corson and Adams, your top 4. Barrett in 5th. Of note, Hudson Barrett's got from 10th to 5th in this race so far. 14 did initially take the green flag per the scoring. To the restart zone. And the outside didn't get going at all. In fact, Briggs laid off by 2-3 drivers.
Now Briggs is going to go from second to outside the top 3 here. Goes way up the racetrack as well. He's going to fall back to about 5th or 6th here.
Not the start that Briggs wanted, as Jared Davis makes the move underneath him. All the way to the back he goes. Keep an eye on that orange 97 though. Looked very fast in the early going. Now wants to make up the spots quickly. He's already going for 7th.
Right, Duncan there, the 97 being trying to get back up like you mentioned, up in front. I don't think that wreck damaged him too badly.
One faster pair for tonight, remember, but he's already had to use it as a result. Up front, it's Alex Corson, who's providing the pressure in the Citrus 8 cleaners machine. He's looking to clean things up a bit, hitting some of the curbing right now in the corners.
Yeah, I see him in a single file line down the front straightaway for now, but they're all tight in a pack here. Ready to make a move, Corson right in line behind Mitchum, and let me tell you, one slip up by Mitchum here, and Corson's going to be ready to pounce.
Corson slowly closing up to these corners to open up this race. Everyone just riding along and trying to maintain patience. That's one of the keys tonight, especially now that the tires are up to temp.
Yeah, bit of a longer green flag run here, about 6 laps since the green flag. Pretty actually even to that first green flag run, and no clear advantage from it. We pulled away a little bit, but only by about 2 or 3 cars, I think, over course.
Indeed, in this one. So once again, the pressure is on to the inside. Right now, Corson pulling that down from Hudson Barrett. Barrett looking for second. There's no place to poke yet for Barrett, one of the younger drivers in this field.
try and play.
I believe we are losing Brandon Laster. It is a stormy time, by the way, for many. Hope those who are in the midst of storms, whether it's hurricanes or storms in general, are okay. This night, during power outages across the country and internet outages in other regions. Barrett still trying to hound for pressure. Looks for second to the inside. No place to go with the cords and check up.
Now we're back at it like a slippery Martinsville hot dog in a bun. Let me tell you, this battle is definitely heating up just like the girls in the infield. So Mitchum able to hang on, but see Barrett back there trying to get second.
You can see how much hands and wheels you have to be able to focus on. Trouble, Barrett too hard in the corner, spins it, caution.
11 lap green flag run this time. I don't think he had any help. He goes in the corner way too hot, has to get on the brakes way too hard, and he has help on this time around. I can see Barrett there running third. He's going in there way too hot.
And interesting enough, your leader has left the race.
Maybe he's getting hit by some rainwater, or he heard there was a sale for Martinsville hot dogs in the infield, so he's just going to go give himself a hot dog. And that's going to put Corson up there into the lead, and look who's there in third.
That's after going airborne. Jeff Maconi, he's now to second, in fact. Jeremy Briggs, interesting enough, electing to pit here. A bit early to take tires, don't you think? I know they're unlimited, but that's going to cost him a lot of time here. He had been running back in the mid-pack after the slides.
Well, maybe Neil try something different. Maybe the slides burnt his tires up way too quickly, and he's expecting a 70-plus green flag run here. And if he has the fresh tires out of everyone, he'll be in good position. But he's got to hope for a long green flag run.
So Briggs has completed service for right side tires, by the way. So almost a quarter of the way through already. And your thoughts on what you've seen so far, where we've seen a mix of drivers trying to remain patient and others being uber aggressive.
I think that's a part of this race, and is you got to be aggressive to make a pass. You don't have to. You can try and run the outside, run the champion's groove, as a lot of short track races like to call the outside groove on a flat track like Martinsville here. But you can be aggressive if you want, and some drivers definitely prefer that over the slow and casual way of moving around the outside. But it's a 100-lap race at Martinsville. It's going to take a while. You're going to have a couple cautions between the start and the finish. You got to take your time. You got to be patient. That's a big part about these races.
So getting set, it looks like, for a restart here. 1 to go signal. Jared Davis has migrated his way to second, with all things considered. Maconi and Adams, row 2. Duncan's recovered to 5th already. Daniel Selway in the 6th spot. One of the drivers from TKC.
Double file, get ready to go back at it. Coming to lap 26 out of 100.
What are the distance complete? Corson, your third different leader. Now looking to run away. Cleaner restart for the outside. All the way to the end of the green flags restart zone to cause side by side.
A lot better restart on the outside this time around. Maconi there in second, though. Slides up right behind Corson, their leader.
That inside, very much preferred, you can tell, on these starts and restarts tonight. Already seen that come into play here. Maconi wanting to take away the inside, pressurizes Corson to miss the corner.
Yeah, late dive forces Corson to make a mistake. Corson up the track, side by side, down and back straightaway. Side by side through 3 and 4 here. Maconi trying to get in the lead.
Maconi got a small edge, not a big one, but he's got the lead. Looking to finish the job. Nearly cleared himself. Used up a lot of Corson's left front tire to just about clear himself there.
Still side by side. They've been side by side for about a lap and a half now. Coming across the line, pretty dead nuts. Even Maconi by a couple. Actually, they were within a couple thousandths of one another there. But Maconi still on the inside, trying to pull away, and he's just not able to.
This is a good defense by Corzin. Never mind, hit the Nerf bars. Each of them bouncing off each other. Dead even once again at the straightaway by 1,000. Corzin not giving up. It is difficult to defend like this for so long from the top, though.
Yeah, we've talked about Jeff here on our Maconi Entertainment platforms when he ran the Yesteryear Race, the Champions Race at Pocono. At one point in the past couple years, Jeff was the most decorated modified driver on iRacing, if not the most, one of the most. So definitely putting his skills to the test here, working around Corson and finally able to get clear. But the bump by Corson for the lead.
Nearly checked himself up as a result with Jared Davis. Now, he's setting it too deep, missing the concrete, in fact. Davis looks for second, takes it.
Maconi there able to kind of cruise away into the sunset. Little bit of some breathing room, but not a whole lot. Just needs to be perfect, and he should be able to pull away. See the gap there, about 6-7 car lengths.
And the more they battle behind, the better, but the caution flag is out. It's Tristan Adams who goes around this time. The 29 car puts center yellow with some help.
See the replay here. Coming off the corner there through the guide car restart zone through turn 1. Has a 31 car behind him. Goes in a little too hot, but also I think he might have had a little tap to the right rear from the 31 car. I'm not sure which one happened first, the tap or the send, but Jeffrey Maconi, your leader down pit lane. No one else follows.
That's a choice this early. Not even at the halfway point yet. So Maconi making a sacrifice here for the track position, for the strategy. Davis now another different leader in this race, and guess who's back up front? Raleigh Duncan.
Yeah, and then see Duncan able to come over that damage and move into the podium positions, and I think he's going to be able to get around Davis here not fairly easily, but he's going to have to work for it for sure. As Duncan, you remember that incident back on lap 6, that car or spun car pulled out in front of him, hit him pretty square, so I don't think I don't know if he took as fast a pair of the damage, just wasn't that bad there on that 97 machine.
Yeah. And now, getting things geared up pretty soon for a restart. Late staying out on this time, I should say. 10 lead laps so far, as with that Maconi, we took the full service with how far back he was for a moment. Yes, can confirm he took 4 tires. Briggs and Barrett were the others who came in for service.
So I mentioned Briggs was already in the previous caution, so it might just be coming down and mention unlimited tire sets, be coming down and throwing unlimited rubber on that car every chance he gets in hopes of a longer run. I mean, if you're running towards the back of the pack, you might as well do something different. Hope for a long green flag run.
Guess so. As we get set to go here. Davis, Duncan, your front row. Alex Corzin's been staying up there. He's been defending well. Pete Polini of note, 15th to 6th. The 30 machine might be someone to keep an eye on this run.
Side by side, slow crawl down the back straightaway here. See if the outside they're going to be able to hang on this time.
Davis sets things up. Playing with the throttle, earlier launch this time. Davis already clear. Duncan able to get second already secured as well, as up to third goes Corson.
Yeah, Duncan quick to get in line there behind Chris Davis, able to hang on to that second spot, and more importantly, get on the inside. Doesn't like anyone on his inside yet. Got a little bump there from Corson, it looked like. It was close.
That allowed Pritchard to just zoom on the outside. Corson nearly sent it too deep into the corner. Able to hold on to it as they make their way to lap 40 this time around. The pressure is on for some. Maconi making some passes in the heart of the pack. But for the race lead, Duncan is providing all sorts of pressure. He's all over the bumper, and he gets bumped into an accident. Caution flag.
Yeah, trouble once again there for the 97 machine. He's right there behind Jared Davis, your leader. See the stack up huge wreck coming out of the corner, though. I'm not sure how this happened, but we have a car upside down. We're going to go back here and see exactly what happened. That's an initial incident there, the 97 machine. Riley Duncan in the 90.
Ippolini ends up upside down because Hudson Barrett, after the caution, runs through Briggs. Barrett's already left the race. No place for Polini to go.
Yeah, get the right sides on his tires, and I mean, they're basically talking about, two round objects making contact with a ton of force, and they're basically going to drive up one another, and that's exactly what happens there. That's almost identical to the Talladega wreck I had. I can't believe I'm saying I had a Talladega-like wreck at Martinsville, or Martinsville-like Talladega wreck here, but where a car hit my tire and flew over me, but they're carrying enough force, and two round tires meet one another. They flip, I guess.
Multiple pit stops, by the way. Duncan, Adams, Briggs again, Pritchard, Corzin, all ducked down to the lane to get service this caution flag as they try and get some fresh rubber right before the halfway mark. Again, why not? And this is where that call by Maconi comes into play. That got him to second.
I mentioned the tires last time too, so Jeff has some pretty fresh rubber up there in that second place as well. Hopefully able to take it to Jared Davis, maybe work on the outside, maybe put the chrome horns. We saw Maconi send it in late last time to get the lead, and see if we'll do the same thing here.
Daniel Selway, by the way, also stayed out this caution flag. Briggs was the first out of the pit lane. As out of the race with this incident, Barrett and Polini were down to 8 cars in the race. But it's going to be critical to have a good launch if you're Davis. A lot of pressure building from behind with how things have been on the checkups.
Yeah, going to be watching that outside as well. That's key for these drivers on the outside like Jeff Maconi is right now, to be able to launch and either get down in line behind their leader or try and stay on the outside. No one's been able to stay on the outside yet. See if Jeff's able to do something that's actually going on around the leader here. Lights are off in the pace car, and we're getting ready to go back racing.
All set to go. Corzin of note 5th, Raleigh Duncan 6th, Adams, Pritchard are your last running as we come up to the restart zone. Davis last time went a little bit earlier than most. Maconi backing it up on the outside a little bit later this time as Maconi having a battle for second.
And Maconi not able to get down in line like he needs to. Daniel Selway there in the 11 on his bottom. No contact yet. Selway falls to third. He gets in line behind Maconi. Maconi in line behind the leader. Contact.
Selway, Briggs, and more. Somehow, no caution. We stay green, able to just avoid crossing the turnaround plane.
And Selway quickly on the radio and apologized. Said that one was all him sitting in the corner a little too deep. Got into Maconi. Both of those drivers able to keep it going. Then he tracked up behind him. Selway, and I believe got a little more help. All drivers are committed able to keep it going. And Jeff Maconi right there over the back bumper of Jared Davis.
Knock, knock on the doorstep. Davis outside, Maconi inside. Maconi goes for the lead as Davis goes for the bump. That was pretty easy. That time on the move.
Maconi able to get on by like he's eating a hot dog, and it's very easy to do, a very easy thing to see here in Martinsville. And Jeff Maconi trying to take home a grandfather clock, virtual, not a real one. I mean, who knows? He might buy himself a real grandfather clock if he wins this race. No, next week, though, these guys are going to be racing for a trophy.
Yeah. One of the final races before that mark. So, speaking of marks, they hit their marks for the halfway point next time by. Corzin still looking for a place to get around the 17.
Jared Davis not able to really go catch Maconi. He just has to kind of stay where he is. I mean, he's not falling back, but he's not gaining much either. And he's got Corzin right there all over that back bumper of the 17.
Yeah, it's been almost about hoping for someone to make a mistake. Pressurizing mistake is one thing, but almost forcing them to send it too deep has been the main opportunity to pass today. Past halfway, still single file.
Yeah, big send by Corson goes up the track. Avoids contact with Davis. Now it's almost catastrophic for your second and third place cars. Ashton Pritchard there quietly in fourth at the tail end of this pack, and there's a huge gap between your fourth and fifth drivers. Riley Duncan there currently in fifth.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising seeing how quick Duncan's been all throughout the race. This run's not worked out for the 97 to be able to keep up with the pack. He did close up 2/10 last time on these cars. So he is getting a bit of time, but not a lot. He'll need it to stay green to close up or a caution.
They mentioned those fresher tires on the 03 of Maconi. I think that's the difference right here.
It's been working like a charm, as some would say. Corzin, almost looking a bit impatient, is starting to get a little bit deeper and deeper on some of these lunges. Apex, there he goes! Jared Davis sent up the track caution flag.
Corzin quickly on the radio says he's sorry, apologizing, my bad, and it's the reason why. Just a deep send in the corner, probably. See the 7 of Corzin, 17 of Jared Davis, and there it is. Late send, deep send. Around Davis go. It's very minimal damage on the left rear of the 17 machine, but you have to restart the back end of this one.
EOL, part 7. And a pit stop from Maconi. And it's a strategy roulette now. Pritchard stays out with Duncan and Corzin.
So I think Jeff really likes these fresh tires, the fresh rubber, able to maybe a little bit more gripped up than most of the drivers in this field. And understands, the presence and the keys to success here. Still a little bit ways to go. 44 laps. We're past the halfway mark, but still plenty of racing left.
7 are on the lead lap and running, by the way, for those keeping track at this point. So we've seen the bump and run come into play. We've seen attrition come into play. We now see the 7 come into pit with the EOL penalty. How do you now plot things knowing we're looking at very likely going to be 15, 20 laps a run if the trend keeps going?
I mean, I'm not really sure what the move is. I mean, see, half the field there came down and got tires, so Jeffrey's going to be restarting their third on fresh rubber. Going to go chase down none other than Riley Duncan and Ashton Pritchard. So, I mean, there's not really a whole lot they can do. You know, there's going to be another caution. There's still a lot of racing that you got to be calm, you got to be patient. You can't be sending it in the corner, try and make a move. You're going to send it deep. You got to make it clear you're sending it deep. You got to pull it inside, before you get to the corner, so at least you can give the driver your deep send it on a chance to react.
Absolutely here as we get ready for the restart. Duncan going to try and make the pressure work from the outside this time.
See that. Sorry to interrupt, but see that outside able to hang on.
First time Pritchard's leading here. How does he handle this now, knowing what's been bad luck for sometimes the leader?
Ashton Pritchard's been running quietly inside the top 5 most of this race. He's able to hang on to the lead. Gonna be 41 to go when they get to the line here. Pritchard on the inside, Duncan on the outside.
Green flag is out. Back underway. Good restart by the 72. And Jeff Maconi already slides his way to second. No contest from Duncan.
Yeah, no contest at all. All he's got now is a mirror full of Riley Duncan getting smaller and smaller. And then he's got a breather full of basically Ashton Pritchard going to go chase him down.
2x2 behind him, by the way, with the drivers on fresh tires. Briggs and Selway amongst those battling. As of note, we have an interesting situation. Remember the drivers that did not make the start? Well, one of them just caused a wreck and got involved in it.
Huge wreck there in the back.
Paul Hartwig Jr., 56 laps down, just did this.
Yeah. See,
Well, welcome.
a bump, a shove, and might as well go with a bang while we're here. He's here for a fun time, not a long time.
Yeah. That is a situation in of itself. And hearing that the trouble may be building up from that, Briggs out of the race with that. Maconi now pressurizing for the lead with Pritchard.
Yeah, black flag in the air for Paul Hartwig. See if he's actually able to serve it.
I don't think he's been given a black, actually. The person who could left.
Actually, hang on. Don't worry. Let me run down to the flag stand real quick. I'll do it myself.
Okay, go on ahead. But Maconi goes on the pressure. Can't get to the inside. Stays single file.
All right, I got a hot dog while I was down there, but black flag, I showed it to Paul Hartwig, and he has pulled off the track. We are good to go.
I was about to say, why join a race 56 laps down?
He's passionate. He's very passionate.
Here comes a pass from Maconi. Pressurizes Pritchard to the inside as in the wall goes the 90 on track, 72 on scoring. Maconi to the point.
Jeffrey Maconi, pretty clean passer on Ashton Pritchard. Expect him to pull away on that fresh rubber as Riley Duncan. You see the gap there. Huge gap from second to third, and Jeffrey Maconi going to try to pull away, coming to 32 laps to get the line.
Maconi looks to try and run away. Keep an eye on intervals too with the 97 as this run progresses. Maconi is quicker than the others on circuit. We're down to 5 on the lead lap, by the way, for those keeping track for the final 32 laps.
Jared Davis, only car not in the lead lap right now, 1 lap down in 6. Only 6 drivers left to run. So definitely a bit of a race of attrition, which most Martinsville races turn out being that way just because of how tight it is. When wrecks happen, they happen big. I mean, we've had cars in the wall, we've had cars upside down, we've had cars facing every which way, we've had cars wreck about a minute after the caution came out, it seemed. So definitely a race of attrition here at Martinsville.
18-4 is being turned by your race leader, by the way. Second place is in the same ballpark. Pritchard seems extremely comfortable here.
That's not really gaining a whole lot on Jeffrey Maconi last time by a 10.5 slower, but they're pretty much on pace with the guys behind them. They just built such a huge gap there to Riley Duncan and Alex Corson in 3rd and 4th.
Just running like a Sunday drive. Pressure is on, by the way, for 3rd. Duncan is not driving well in that battle for 3rd at the moment because he's under attack. There it is in the backdrop. Corson providing pressure. As the leaders stay single file, it's not so easy for the 97.
Now remember, we talked to the top 3, and Alex Corson really wants to get talked to after this race. A bit bumper love to Riley Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan scraping the walls. This opens the door. Get the crowbar out for the spot. Duncan tries to squeeze, but older rubber and damage to the car. Sees him drop.
Duncan goes way wide, and that's going to allow Alex Corson to slide right on by. No contest for that. As meanwhile, Jeffrey Maconi in the 03 out front. He's wearing it his way, and right now he's wearing that right front down awfully, and the right rear awfully down quite a bit. Still able to hang on to the lead. You see him getting a little bit loose on corner exit.
25 laps to go. The laps starting to really tick on by here. Maconi's starting to stretch it up. Maconi's found a different line compared to Pritchard, by the way. Pritchard trying to wrap around the curbing. Maconi's now slid up almost in some of these corners to half a lane up. And it's been working pretty well to get small gains, just small gains.
Yeah, Pritchard definitely starting to close in a little bit there, so Maconi struggling on the new tires have definitely gone away. Doesn't quite have that advantage he had previously. Pritchard right there. He's there, I'd say.
Not able to get alongside yet, though. Of note, Corzin got loose and just lost third spot to Duncan. And it's Maconi. You can see how he's having to play the wheel right now. Smooth and gentle.
I gotta be careful on that throttle. That's the big thing. You can be smooth with your hands, all you need. You gotta be smooth with that right foot, too.
Maconi still trying to exit high. Pritchard preferring to exit low where the dip is on the racetrack. Just trying to get the angle down, but better a quarter exit is part of this battle storyline as Pritchard tries to go too deep.
And definitely going to get him a little bobble there. Off the corner, Pritchard able to get it collected back together. Caution is out. Oh, in the back, Daniel Selway has gone around.
He spun in 1 and 2, and we're under caution. The 11 on scoring goes around this time.
Able to avoid any extra contact. Jared Davis comes on the outside right there. Oh man, that was definitely a little too close for comfort, but
yeah, and that puts us under caution and allows a pit party. Here's another interesting tidbit. Lee Schwarzenbach, who is 80 laps down, 81 in fact, he just joined the race.
I guess better late than never. I mean, realistically, he can only make it up to about 11th, currently in the 15th spot. Once again, not here for a long time, just here for a fun time, and I guess these next 18 laps are going to be pretty fun for Lee Schwarzenbach.
Schwarzenbach, an interesting name in terms of the combination, but he did put up 19-second lap times in qualifying, for those curious. So this is about to be a lesson for the iRacing rookie. By the way, Maconi took 2 tires to take the lead.
Don't be very interesting to see. Let me tell you, he's got the cleanest looking car out here, though.
And trying to see what the situation is going to be with the 51. That's currently something on the radio. So, again, how they won the race off pit road. Maconi, Pritchard, Duncan. And bye-bye 51, he's been parked.
Well, Jeff got a car and waved a black flag on that one.
Yeah. So, how do you play this to get the race lead away from Maconi? He's on 2 tires, yes, but we know how difficult it's been to pass cleanly.
That's the key word, pass cleanly. I don't think if we're going to see a pass in the next 15 laps, it's going to be very, very clean. It's going to be getting the chrome horns out and getting them a little dirty.
So, some weird times tonight here with Fast Fridays. 2 drivers, more than half the race down, joining the session. 1 causing an incident, by the way. You have 6 now in the lead lap. Jared Davis got the lucky dog by dodging that incident. And you've had attrition build up with some of the better drivers you'll see on the platform, short track racing wise. But now it's going to be down to a 14-lap shootout to decide what's been a wild night here at the Paperclip. It is Martinsville. Crazy does happen here. Maconi and Pritchard on your front row. Duncan and Corzin in row 2. Maconi clear, off and away.
Able to give about 2 or 3 car length advantage going into turn 1. 13 laps to go. Next time by Pritchard getting loose. Pritchard bobbles. That's going to allow Riley Duncan to try and steal a second going into 3 and 4.
Both tires. That's the concern when you take the rubber. Pritchard bobbles into the wall. Tries to get a block for a moment. Corzin instead gets a set, and he goes too hard on the set and spins it. Corson backs out before the caution flag. We stay green.
Yeah, definitely going to hurt his odds to win this one. It's definitely going to help Jeffrey Maconi. Biggest gap at the line right now from first to second. Jeffrey Maconi, the Riley Duncan, is going to be 9/10 of a second.
0.846, in fact, to be precise. Is this going to be enough time for Duncan to do something? We've seen him do well when equal footing's been on the rubber. 18 threes, that's the time he needs to put up. He lost a 10th this time by.
Yeah, see Corson actually left the session there. Didn't want to bring out a caution. It took one for the team, threw away his good finish. I hate to see that they'll run 88, 89 laps and gonna have to go home early. But Pritchard there taking advantage to move up there in the third, right there behind Riley Duncan, who gets loose and slides up the track. And I'm gonna tell you, they're staying on pace with Jeffrey Maconi. They're a little bit faster, but this side-by-side battling will not help them at all.
Less than 10 to go. Right now, Maconi just needs to keep it clean. Just grip onto the race lead. Duncan, feeling the pressure, makes contact. That's in the backdrop right now as Pritchard made some contact with the Nerf bar, added a scuff to it.
Yeah, you see Jeffrey Maconi pulling away. Not really able to build a huge gap lap by lap, but able to hang on to the one he has built.
Time ticking away here, and that's allowed Maconi to take a more than 1 second advantage. Pritchard seems to be a little bit faster now, but is there going to be a chance for him to get back to Duncan in time to make it clean?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have the time unless we get a late race caution here. It needs to happen soon, though. Battle there for second, still very much a battle to watch. Pritchard in third behind Riley Duncan, but then Jared Davis in 17 is ready to pounce to the second of opportunity.
Pritchard trying to get the launch off the corner. Down to the final 5 laps from the paperclip. Right now, Pritchard still using his preferred groove. Duncan trying to match the line of Maconi from earlier.
I see Jeff running a little bit lower in the corner. Riley Duncan washing up a little bit. Same with Pritchard. Look at the lap time. They're actually a 10th quicker than Jeff and Maconi. They're gaining a little bit. I just don't think they have the time. 3 to go next time by.
Davis is closing in on these two to make it a 3-car scrap. Right now, it's the matter, though, of does the door open up to take some moves, to make some passes? Here comes a chance. Pritchard inside, outside, Duncan. Side by side as Pritchard goes, takes it, gets the crowbar out, hits the side of the Nerf bar, scrapes it up, side by side, 2 to go.
They're getting the crowbar out and try and pry his way into second. More contact. They both wash off the track. Here comes Jared Davis on the bottom. Davis on the inside of Duncan there for third. And we got a 3-car race for second. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Maconi driving off in the sunset. White flag in the air for Jeffrey Maconi.
Pritchard getting the elbows out to take away the spot. Final time around for Fast Fridays tonight for Martinsville. We have a crash. It's for second. Pritchard around. He brings Duncan with him. Duncan parks it. Davis drives by for second. Maconi gets to drive to victory lane. He wins it at Martinsville.
Mentioned Jared Davis able to get around that last lap catastrophe there. Finishes second. Ashton Pritchard limps it home there in third. And unfortunately, heartbreak for their drivers. Denver Selway bumping Pritchard after the fact. Don't know if that's a bump of encouragement or bump of dissatisfaction. But Jeffrey Maconi, let me tell you, this is going to be a great interview here.
He's still going. He does know the race is over, right?
I mean, he's just trying to get more laps of that at this point.
There we go. And now he slows it on down, going an extra lap for safety. Tony,
burn it down.
He's having a hard time turning this car around.
I think that's traction control. I think that's how he was able to go out there and win. He won with the traction control. And I don't think he's going to do a burnout. Oh, about grip flips it though.
Well, that's the celebration Take a step aside. Fast Fridays continues with post-race coverage after this. You're watching Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop here from the Paperclip. It's time to get our post-race coverage started by taking a look at your results. Jeff Maconi himself takes the win. Davis, Pritchard, your top 3. Selway rounds out the lead lappers. Raleigh Duncan doesn't finish. He finishes a lap down. Corson, part of the big-time DNFs with Briggs, Adams, Barrett, Polini. The rest of your starters tonight included Michael Mitchum, along with Beck, Randolph, Schwarzenbach, and McLaughlin, along with Hartwig Jr. tonight, Braden. An interesting one for those that are at the back end of that pylon, but it was an interesting race in general.
Yeah, 2 drivers there, Schwarzenbach and Hartwig, who joined the race later in the race, and unfortunately their laps very limited there. Hartwig got the black flag due to his incidents on track, and you see the rest of the pylon there. Those drivers were not fortunate enough to see the green flag, and I'm going to tell you, I'm sure they missed out on a great race. They did miss out. I'm not sure. I know they missed out on a great race. We sat here and we watched it.
Let's take the opportunity to catch up first with Jeff Maconi, your winner tonight. Jeff, some wacky stuff in some circumstances, but a good win for you. How would you describe tonight from your viewpoint?
It was pretty crazy. Fast Fridays is always up in the air, and if I'm ever going to win a Fast Fridays race, which I don't win very many, I'd better win the modifieds at Martinsville. So it was a lot of fun. Disappointing when people that are like 50, 60, 70 laps down join just to cause chaos, but what are you going to do? It says more about them than us, and it is what it is. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really clean racing that I found. Like, there were a lot of times where I was side by side with someone and having really good battles, especially the 7. I was having a great battle with him for a while there, and yeah, Pritchard was a lot of fun to run with. Jared was a lot of fun. Everyone that was still there at the end, and a few people that weren't, were really a lot of fun to race around.
Overall, how would you describe this combination in terms of not just the funness, but also, as you said, being able to put on solid racing like tonight for this before the money race next time out?
It definitely says a lot about the driver and what they were able to get out of the car. This was to me, the car felt very out of the track. I heard you guys say that I was loose, and I was sitting there. I was having to put so much wheel into it that it was eventually snapping loose. I thought it was very chassis tight, and that the car just didn't want to turn until it finally stopped resisting and folded over, and then it wanted to turn too much. So having to drive a car like that definitely demonstrated a lot of driver talent all throughout the field. And even when I was able to make a pass, it was really only because I'd back up the entry and really throw it in on corner exit to get a decent enough run down the straightaway where they thought I could dive bomb them. And then I would look to their inside and be able to make something work. There wasn't ever a time where someone ran away. I mean, I really only pulled away at the end because they were all battling for second after the restart.
Well, that being said, let's talk about the situation next week. Your thoughts on the combination for the money race next week?
Super Speedway, NASCAR at Super Speedways is always a ton of fun. I think it's going to put on a great race. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss it, and I'm really bummed about it. I'm going to be up at Anderson testing with Brayton Laster and his team for the Winchester race on October 11th and 12th. So hopefully this is like a good premonition. I mean, they are both half a mile long, and that's about where the similarities between Martinsville and Winchester and modifieds and a late model end. But maybe this is a really good sign that I might possibly somewhat know what I'm doing. I wouldn't put too much faith in that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Next week with the money race, I think everyone's really going to enjoy it. It's super speedway racing, so that requires its own skills in and of itself. I'm excited to see who comes out on top, and I look forward to watching it. I will probably I will either be just getting out of the car or just getting to the airport because I have to fly down to Talladega immediately after getting out of the car. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations once again, Jeff, on the victory tonight. Anything else you'd like to add before we let you go?
I just have to, as always, thank you guys for putting on an awesome show. Everyone that came out and ran Fast Fridays with us, it was a ton of fun. I didn't get a chance to, I actually wasn't planning on running this race tonight, but I ended up having just enough time, but I didn't have enough time to paint up the car with Goat Locker Racing, Yesteryear Racing, 4K Motorsports, Josh White's Outdoor Adventures, the Pacific Northwest iRacing League, and everyone involved on the real world late model that would be on this virtual one. But yeah, Yesteryear, Goat Locker Racing, Pacific Northwest Racing, 4K Motorsports, Josh White's Outdoor Adventures, everyone involved are huge help. So huge thank you to them. And I'm very excited to see them out on the track in the real world next week and the week after. And thank you to everyone that came out and ran Fast Fridays and watched. It was a lot of fun out there.
Once again, congratulations on the win tonight, Jeff.
Thank you. It will probably be my only one for the foreseeable future in Fast Fridays because I very rarely win these, so I'm going to go celebrate.
Jeff Maconi comes away with a win. Ashton Pritchard now standing by with Braden.
Ashton, you sat there. We saw you lead a couple laps tonight. We saw you, though, in that absolute battle, heated battle there for second, although you unfortunately come home third on that. Tell us about your race.
Honestly, it went pretty good. I was surprised I was able to come back after the early contact that I got into, which was my fault. But I was happy to get up there and have a good fight with Mr. Maconi for the position. That was unexpected.
And then we talked about, we saw that last lap incident there with Riley Duncan. Duncan was second for the later portion of the race. And you sat there and got the chrome horns out, got him a little dirty, working his inside. And then he sends it a little deep on you. You both spin out, and Davis gets around to there for second. So were you expecting it to get rough in the final couple laps?
I was expecting it, but I was hoping I wouldn't have to come down to it. I was trying not to get into him. Me getting into him at first was just me getting tight, center of the corner. And I don't know if we touched or not going into one. I think I just sent it in too hard and just spun it. Then he unfortunately got collected in that, which I do feel bad about, but it's part of racing, unfortunately.
Yep, of course. Somebody want to thank en route to their third place finish here tonight.
I would like to thank Lumet Motorsports for coming out here tonight, helping me stay competitive here, and shout out to DL Designs for giving me this nice scheme that looked amazing going around this track tonight.
Of course, well, thank you for running with us, and hopefully we see you next week.
Thank you.
Once again, that's Ashton Pritchard coming away third tonight. I'd like to thank him for taking time to speak with us during post-race coverage, along with Jeff Maconi for Fast Fridays presented by Maconi Setup Shop. Brendan, your thoughts on tonight as we've seen a little bit of everything. It was a bit wild, and in the end, Maconi comes away with a win.
I mean, I'm not surprised Jeffrey Maconi able to get a win in a modified, and he did it in a very dominating fashion. Or that 51 out of 100 laps, but Martinsville did what Martinsville does best, and that's not serve hot dogs.
Yes, indeed. And as mentioned by Maconi, it's super speedway racing next time out to determine the money. Once again, to learn more, go to MaconiSetupShop.com to learn about the combinations and how you can try and win either $250 cash or a big giant trophy. On that note, it's time to say goodbye for tonight's coverage. Once again, tonight's sponsors, Maconi Setup Shop, White Think Them, and Maconi Competizone. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Braden Laster. It was David Kreutz as our producer tonight. Thank you to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. I hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for the next Fast Fridays race. And don't forget to tune in each week for a broadcast of top split of the Maconi Fix Series. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.